Good day and welcome back to the channel Understanding Systemic Police Corruption. My name is Samuel Clark, affectionately known as the Old Man. And today's discussion will be criminals have all the rights. Before we get started, any of the discussions here are brief. The topics that are discussed are worthy of much more time, but it will certainly give you a foundation to work with, to understand how you have systemic police corruption and the difficulty of stopping. Okay, let's dive in. Perhaps you have heard someone make that statement that criminals, they have all the rights. That's the problem. The police, their hands are tied. Criminals have all the rights. Well, that's the biggest BS lie almost ever. Criminals do not have all the rights. A poor person is not in a financial position to exercise their constitutional right to a trial. And many times they end up in a plea bargain. And I will connect the video I did in reference to the plea bargains. Wealthy people that are in position financially to hire a team of lawyers, researchers, investigators, expert witnesses, they're prepared to go to trial. So if anybody has all the rights, it's the wealthy criminal that has the rights. That seldom are wealthy people put in jail. And usually the time that they serve is less. Many times they have the opportunity to pick the prison they're going to go to. It's pretty good. And other perks. So if criminals have all the rights, we have to qualify that by saying it's wealthy criminals that have all the rights. Certainly it's not poor people that are accused of crimes that have all the rights. They rarely ever get a chance to go to trial. There was a case of a young man named Khalif Browder who was arrested and accused of stealing a backpack. He emphatically denied being involved and wanted a trial. He could not make bail. He didn't have the resources. So he ended up spending approximately 2 years in Rikers Island, New York, where he was assaulted. He was in solitary confinement for well over 100 days. Now, this doesn't sound like someone that has all the rights. And the traumatic effect of his experience there in that jail certainly apparently was a factor, a large factor in him committing suicide. And I suggest, if you're not familiar with that case, that you do some research on it. So here's an individual that wanted to exercise his constitutional rights to go to trial. And he was offered on different occasions an opportunity, if you want to call it that, for a plea bargain, and he refused because he wanted to go to trial. He didn't do anything wrong. This is what his claim was. He wanted to go to trial. So they kept him locked up. Perhaps there was something that they were trying to hide based on a bad arrest or whatever. But the fact is, he was not treated like someone who has all the rights. He's an accused poor person who is almost always stuck with a plea bargain, which he refused to do. So I emphasize again, criminals do not have all the rights. They rarely have an opportunity to exercise those rights. And finally, I must say, if criminals had all the rights, then a trial by jury would be absolutely normal. And a plea bargain would be extremely rare. You would have the resources to go to trial and to adequately defend yourself. No need to take any plea bargain. Trials would be normal. Plea bargaining deals would be extremely rare. However, that's the opposite. Trials are rare, and plea bargaining is the norm. So that's it for today. And I'm here to give you the real facts and none of the BS, because systemic police corruption is a severe problem. And who is going to be the next victim? Under the circumstances of rampant police corruption, good luck and stay safe.